Hi, my friends. It is Wednesday, and Wednesdays we download. We download on Wednesdays, and I am so excited that you are here with me. Those of you who are on live, well, if you're watching the replay, which I know so many of you guys do, say hi. Tell me you're here. Tell me what you are excited about with our topic of habits. Last week we talked about how to lead yourself well in all areas of your life, all the 5 areas. And so we dug them down and we identified them. Now we're going to dig deeper into it. And today's topic is habits. As you heard me talk about last week, it was 2 weeks ago. We were not together last week, but 2 weeks ago, habits was the last thing that I tackled. And I don't know why that is. I was under the impression that habits weren't really a serious situation. Like all the other ones were way more important. And, they're important, absolutely. But habits, it's literally the foundation of everything else. So funny. I am quite comical, as we know, and my little convoluted logic is hilarious. So those of you who have identified habits as an area that you really want to lean into, you really want to dig deeper into, the book Atomic Habits is one of my very favorites. And so what I've done is I've taken 10 points of Atomic Habits, and we're gonna dive in, and we're gonna give them a good application for your life and for your business that I think could help you instantly. I am me, and I am impatient, efficient, ultra productive. Did I say impatient? Probably should have led with that. That's kind of a thing. I like results, and I like things to happen, and I'm like that. So habits are a great place to find some wins, because you can change them just a little bit and get a lot of results out of it. So, Kayla, thank you for being with me today. You got your Atomic Habits out and everything. I love it. If you've not read the book, guys, after this, you probably don't even need to read the book, because I'm going to cliff notes it for you. But if you want to dig in more, it is a great place to do that. So let's get started. We've got 10 things to dig into. So the first point that I wanted to make out of that book is that tiny habits. So if you're point number 1, tiny habits equal big glow ups. You can get a lot out of a little when you're working with habits. So the book talks about taking 1% improvements. And so I think sometimes we're like, I have to change everything, and everything has to be on a big overhaul. I don't believe that's true. And also, those aren't the things that really stick. The things that really stick are the tiny incremental changes that we make. So 1% improvement is what we're looking for. So my example of the thing that really, when I started working on habits, it was what time I go to bed and what time I wake up in the morning. And you guys know it's kind of what I'm famous for, because it's kind of extreme, right? Well, it wasn't always like that. I would sleep till I woke up, and then I would go to sleep when I was tired, which sounds wonderful. It was kind of wonderful. I'm not gonna lie. I loved that time in my life as far as sleep goes, but my productivity was not what it is today. So what time do you go to sleep? What time do you wake up? Those habits, those are benchmarks. Those are your guiding posts of the day. They're very important to your day. So I go to sleep at between 8 and 8:30 every single night, which means my phone goes away about 7:30 every single night, and I get up at 3:45 in the morning. I know it's extreme, but it works for me. But it's developed into that, because that habit has stacked upon itself, which by 7 a.m., I have won. I've already won my day by 7 a.m. Wouldn't you love that feeling of productivity, of being very powerful by a certain time of the day? Early. And early powerful, man, that's a big habit. So what time do you wake up? What time do you go to sleep? That's a fun little tweak. The next one is scrolling. We've talked about scrolling. We all do it. Even when I preach, don't do it, sometimes I catch myself doing it. But what if you could take 15 minutes of scrolling time and turn it into 15 minutes of booking time, or customer service phone calls, or follow up, or recruiting reach outs. What if just 15 minutes? I mean, 15 minutes, guys. In order, you have to move something out to move something in. So what are you going to move out? Well, scrolling's easy to move out because it's brainless and stupid and it makes you crazy. Or Netflix, or I don't know, where do you waste your time? Like, where do you waste your time? That's a really good question. Where are your time wasters during the day? And just take 15 minutes. You don't have to scrap the whole thing. Is like, so sometimes I put another workout in my day in the afternoon this summer, and I have loved it. Like, it has been wonderful. But in order to do that, in order to put 45 minutes of a walk in the afternoon, I had to rearrange my whole day to do it. Like, I had to push everything around and then also say, okay, Heather, while you're walking, what else can you do? I want to relax. I want to enjoy nature. I want to do all those things. I want to listen to my music. I want to let, just kind of my brain relax. But what if I did my Voxering through then? Like, what if I did all of that? Okay. So instead of sitting at my desk and listening to Voxer messages and answering them for 15 minutes, I could stack it with something that I want to do. And now I get 2 for 1. So where are the little tweaks that you could make? So listen to this number. If you spent 5 minutes a day and you reached out to 2 people, whether it's follow-ups or customer service or recruiting or booking, whatever that is, you're going to reach out to 60 people a month. That's over 700 people a year. So we think about that 1% not being very much, but man, it'll stack up if you're consistent. So tiny habits equal big glow ups. Number 2, build systems, stop chasing goals. And that comes from the most goal-oriented human being there is on the face of this earth. But chasing goals, guys, is not how you win. It's just not how you win. Goals are about the result. Systems are about the process that gets you there. So if you chase process, if you chase activity in our vernacular, then the goals will happen. So, I would say it used to be called the hardest time of my Mary Kay career. I will say one of the hardest times in my Mary Kay career. I used to call it my wasteland. Now I think I call it who I am as a person. It has become such a part of me. Who knew? Was the 5 years that I had earned a Cadillac, right? Like a hot shot, because I think I'm so cool, earned a Cadillac right after I started, basically, and then didn't have a Cadillac anymore, went down a level in car, and I spent 4 years not in a Cadillac. Well, during those 4 years that I used to call my wasteland, I did 30 faces a month, every single month, a Power Start, for 5 years. For 5 years. I didn't mean to do 5 years. I just wanted back in my Cadillac, but like the Power Starts kept going. And then I did $500,000 and trip $1 million right after that. But because of the activity, if I would have just said, I need to get back in my Cadillac, I need to get back in my Cadillac, I need to be back in my Cadillac, I would be so hyper focused on that goal that I probably wouldn't have done the work. And I probably would have been looking for other places to find that and hit that goal other than right in my world of my business on how I can change it and what I had control over. So the system makes the goal inevitable. I mean, honestly, can you imagine doing a Power Start every single month for 5 years? Where would that land you? Of course I got back in a Cadillac. Duh, it's inevitable. Like, there's no way you can do that kind of work with that kind of consistency and not reach your goal. I saw a reel one time on Instagram. I may or may not have been scrolling, whatever. We don't have to talk about it. But it said it was talking about I think it was a high school volleyball team. And she didn't make the team that she wanted to be on, this teenager. And her dad said, instead of like, oh, like consoling her or hurry up, buck up, spunky, like, on to the next, he said, work on being so excellent that they can't help but take you next time. So if you have a goal, and I hope you do, that something that you're striving for is be so great at the activity and the process, you just can't help but achieve it. That's how you want to look at your Mary Kay systems and your goals. Be so excellent at the activity, do so much, do it so consistently and so well that the goal has to happen. It is inevitable. One of that hardest time in my career was the most defining part of my career and who I am as a leader. Okay, so next one. This one's a good one. And this one's kind of deep. Like this one is the one that really makes you stop to think. And it is identity is stronger than willpower. So who you are and who you see yourself as is more important and more powerful than just gutting it up and doing it. Okay. So one of the examples that they use in the book is, when they're talking about smoking, and instead of saying I'm trying to quit smoking, you say I don't smoke, and it's who you are. So you take on the identity of the goal you're trying to achieve. So instead of saying I want to be a sales director in Mary Kay, you say I'm a leader. I'm disciplined. I do the work to have a successful Mary Kay unit. You can't help but have a successful Mary Kay unit because you do so much work. You take on the identity of what you're looking to. So it's not just something, it's someone right here. And I think that's really powerful. So the identity piece. Okay, number 4, if it's hidden, it ain't happening. Okay? If it's hidden, it ain't happening. The easier the habit is to start, the more likely it is that you're going to do it. Is it obvious? Is your goal easily accessible? So what I mean, then we change it into activity. Is your activity easily accessible? So when I have a work day, which is every day, I love to work. You have to stop me from working. I love it, but I already have my list. So when I wake up in the morning, I already know who I'm going to contact, like what I'm looking for, the tasks I need to get done, the jobs I need to get done, the things to do list is already made because I'm a machine. If that list is made, I wake up in the morning, I'm like, ooh, okay, boom. And I get to it because I love it. But if I sit and I wake up in the morning and I come to my desk and I'm like, okay, what am I going to do today? I'll tell you, I'll lose an hour of thinking about it and spinning. And then I'll get on Facebook and then I'll react to that. I'll react to that. I'll react to that. And so my day, or at least my morning, is consumed with reacting to things instead of proactively tackling the list that I made the day before. That's why Mary Kay Ash made the 5 most important things to do list. It's because of that mind game that if you have your things to do list every night set for the morning, you'll just go. You cannot afford to wake up in the morning, sit down for your Mary Kay time, your 15 minutes of Mary Kay time, if that's all you have, and then wonder what you're doing. And okay, what was I supposed to do? What did my director say that we were doing this month? Okay, where's that post she made about like our activities? And what did she say? Our 8 things. Guys, no. That's what the CEO does the night before. And the worker bee, it gets up and implements immediately. Okay. So I love having that list done. So how obvious can you make it? One thing I've always had, and I don't know if I've done this on purpose or just subliminally, but in my office, I'm pointing to my inventory. I have all my inventory in a closet in my office. My door is open all the time. I see my inventory every day because I know that inventory on a shelf means nothing. That my job is to move that into somebody else's hand. My job is not to have the cutest inventory, the prettiest inventory, the most comprehensive inventory. My job is for that to really never sit there. My job is to keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. That's my job. So I look at it every day. And I think that's really important. I remember when I was a brand new consultant, they said, don't take your inventory, put it in totes and put it underneath your bed. Like, that's not obvious. That's not going to get you into motion. You got to see it. You got to, it's kind of got to get in your face. You got to put it in your face. Like, if you have, with social media is a great thing. A great example is you will procrastinate. You need to change your habit on social media, like whatever that is, make it really obvious. Like, I'll put my product that I know I'm going to make a reel on, I'll put it right in front of everything else on my vanity, because I know, oh yeah, I was going to do that. Yes. And so I don't just go to the next thing and then bypass one of my goals for the day. So if it's hidden, it ain't happening. Make it obvious. Put the stack of bills on your desk. Show your inventory to yourself every day. Keep yourself motivated. Okay, number 5, make it fun or it won't get done. Guys, this is such a cheat code. If you can figure out how to make boring, mundane, or even difficult, complicated things fun, you are going to win the day and you're going to win your life. Pair habits with something you enjoy. That is the easiest thing to do, because there's no way to slice it, but I'm never going to like booking. I'm never going to like it. I've been doing this for 21 years. Still haven't liked it. Still probably never going to like it. There are certain things that I don't want to do. But if I can pair it with something that I do want to do, then I can make it tolerable. So am I going to drink a delicious cup of coffee? Or it's my smoothie. I love my smoothie. That's a new thing for me and I'm obsessed with it. What about a playlist on your phone while you're booking? One thing that I do, especially if I'm going to have a long conversation or a difficult conversation or something like that. I used to do this because one-on-one conversations used to make me very, very nervous. That's just a side note from you to me and, the entire YouTube world. But they would make me really nervous and it would intimidate me. And so one thing that I would do is I would do those conversations while I was walking, because walking in nature is one of the most uplifting things that I can do. I'm exercising, I'm creating endorphins. Nature is where I feel centered and peaceful and powerful all at the same time. And so that's like if I want to do something hard, I need to go outside. I need to go by the pool. I need to go sit in the sun. I need to take a walk. Like, those are big cheat codes for me. What are your cheat codes? Well, how can you make this more fun? It is a great question to ask yourself, because you're going to get more out of yourself if it's enjoyable. Okay, number 6, easy beats effort every single time. This has really nothing to do with it, but it's something that we say at our house a lot, because I saw that Bill Gates had a quote and he said, give the hardest job to the laziest person. And my father-in-law and I tease my husband about this all the time, because my husband is not lazy and tends to make things more complicated than they need to be, in my humble opinion, sometimes. So my father-in-law and I tease him all the time, because we're lazy. Give them to us. We'll do it, because we will figure out how to make it fast, because we will find the easy way through. And I don't think that's a good idea, but it is, however, true. So remove the friction, remove the hard from a job. Like, if anything that you can do to copy and paste, like, I have every single script that you can possibly imagine in my phone, either in my notes section or in boards or in somewhere. So I don't have to think about, okay, what am I going to say to that person to ask her to watch a video? I don't come up with that script every time. I already have the script. So anything that you can cheat code into easy, it's the very best thing. And I would almost 1000% guarantee that your director already has all those things done. So if you're sitting in the morning and you didn't listen to what I was said, so now you don't have a list of people that you're going to contact. So now you're spinning there, and then you're like, okay, well, I'm going to call her. Okay, what am I going to say? 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 Like, you've wasted all that time because you're trying to reinvent the wheel of something that's already been done. Why don't you just try the script that was given to you? Let's just see how that goes. I lived with scripts when I first started. Now I am, okay, now how can I make that script my own? But when I was a new consultant, I didn't have the confidence to do that. I also didn't have the skill to do that. So I needed to copy and paste until I got good at it. So what can you cheat code into easy? You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Making it your own can come later. But if we're starting to change our habits little by little and we're starting to get good habits, start with easy and then you can make it authentic in your own, because I do want you to do that, but it doesn't have to be right now, if that makes sense. Okay. Number 7, track it, check it, celebrate it. So we want to win, right? I want to win every single day, every single day, every single day. So how can I tell my brain and how can I teach my brain to win? Your brain repeats what feels good. So I need to train my brain to feel good on things that could possibly feel hard, or could, for me, hard is not hard, boring is hard. It is hard for me to sit at my office desk. It is hard for me to like do the same thing over and over again. It is hard for me to have a long attention span. It just exhausts me into boring, right? Okay, so I have to feel powerful. I have to win. So how I talk to myself is girl. And I actively talk to myself this way. I don't assume I know. I talk to myself like this. When I do these 10 follow-ups, I'm gonna feel awesome. When I book, or when I do my 10 booking attempts, I'm gonna feel powerful. You know what so pardon my French, guys, but it just has to be said. When my husband says, Heather, you're a badass, like it is my most like, I feel so good when he says that. Of all the things he says to me, he says, Heather, you're hot all the time. I don't care about that one. I don't know if he's really lying either, because he's usually when there's a messy bun in pajamas and no makeup on. What I care about is when he says, Heather, you're a badass. So I think about that. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna feel like a badass when I do this. And ooh, Heather, oh yes. Like I constantly all day long, I'm having these little celebration times. So I have to track it. I got to check it off the list and I have to celebrate it. I don't go from one thing to another. I'm going to give myself rewards because the brain repeats what feels good, and rewards feel good. So I want my habits to change, right? Because I want the habit of stop scrolling. I want the habit of booking. So I got to make booking feel better than scrolling. Well, scrolling's dopamine. That's why it's so addictive. It's just dopamine, dopamine, dopamine. So how can I make booking dopamine? How can I feel powerful and win? You've got to figure out how to manipulate yourself. And that is part of that. So how I talk to myself, how I view my tasks, very important to how I continue with the good habits. Okay, number 8, your space equals your sales. And there's 2 different spaces we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the emotional space and the physical space. So, because you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your environment. What does that mean emotionally? Who are you surrounding yourself with? You become like the 5 people that you surround yourself with, right? That you spend the most time with. The 5 people. What are those people doing in life? Would you trade places with them? If you would trade places with them, then you need to actively find different people to surround yourself with. You need to spend less time with them and more time with people that are doing what you want to do in life, in business, gym, relationships, all of the above. If you wouldn't trade places with them, then you probably shouldn't be spending time with them. So surround yourself with winning consultants, winning directors. So much of my positive working environment is on Instagram. Okay. So Facebook is like where I communicate with people. That's for the most part. Instagram is where all my motivational reels, motivational quotes, like when if I need to get amped up, that's what my Instagram is for. It has become one of the 5 people that I surround myself with because I know that there is tips on how to be stronger in the gym, tips on how to have better sleep. I'm going through the second stage of perimenopause right now. Did you even know there was multiple stages? I didn't know that until last week. I'm not excited about it either. But like what's going on there makes me better. John Maxwell, Craig Rochelle, these people that I've surrounded myself with are the best of the best of the best in their game. That is who I want to surround myself with because those people are making a difference. Those people are making the kind of impact that I want to make. Well, I don't have access to them in my office, but I do on my phone. So that's a big part of my little cheat code for raising the bar in my mind and my belief level. And my friends need to be doing more than me. It is absolutely vital that my friends are not doing less than me because I will fall to the level of my environment. And so your second example is your physical space. I think it's really important. Like I'm kind of a messy person. I don't like dirt. I don't like grody. That's not what I mean. But I'm kind of messy, like piles and stacks and things like that. But I really believe that your life, your space should not be cluttered. It should not be dirty. It should not make you feel less than. It should make you feel powerful. So how can you create an environment that is tidy, clutter-free, clean, something that makes you feel good about yourself and about what you're doing? You're becoming, right, the kind of person that has a clean house. You're becoming the kind of person that doesn't live in clutter. You're becoming the kind of person that doesn't have dirt everywhere. And so those things are important to who you're becoming. And your physical space, you will naturally be pulled up or down to. Does it have vision boards on there? Are there pictures of what you want? Like I've got my whole life is a goal poster. I don't actually have actually I do have a goal poster. It's over there. But my whole life, like what I look at every day they're just goals. Like and they're things that keep me motivated and they're things that keep me on task. Like I have just stuff like this. This fell down earlier. But this usually sits right underneath my camera on my computer. And it says, be a scientist, not a judge. It's one of the things I say to myself all the time because I have a tendency to be pretty judgmental with myself and with others. And so be more curious, be a scientist, not a judge. And here's my top 12 strength finders because I need to know who I am. Because when I know who I am, I can remove myself from the conversation so I can be more into who you are. It's a coaching cheat code. So there's so many things that your physical space can help you with. Okay, number 9. Bad habits multiply like glitter, but so do good habits. And that is the cool thing. Just as positive habits compound, which we like, but the bad side is that negative habits compound. So I think about, our example of sitting and scrolling. If I sit and scroll, I start comparing myself to others and how great they are at social media or how great they are at their job or how cute they look in their gym clothes, whatever. I usually feel inadequate. Rarely do I go, ooh, I'm so much better than she is. Yeah, never, ever, by the way. I usually feel inadequate. Then I start feeling less energized. Then I lose some confidence. And so now I'm not booking and I'm not following up with the people that I'm supposed to be doing. That's how a negative habit can compound. Now, if I sit down to book, I don't turn over my phone. I don't start scrolling. If I sit down to book, now I'm in action. It makes me want to do more on my list. Don't you know that? Like when you're in action, when I'm action mode, which is like all the time, then I want to do more and more and more and more and more. I love checking things off a list. It makes me feel awesome. So that is a positive, just keeps me energized. I want to do more and I want to do more and I want to do more. So one habit is never just about one habit. There's always a compounding effect. Is it positive or is it negative? One thing is never about one thing. And that's almost a scary thought right there. And also a powerful thought. Okay, last one is messy but consistent is better than perfect and rare every single time. Every day does not have to be a winner because showing up every day is the win. So what you're going to tell yourself is that successful people have one thing in common, and that is they show up. They show up when it's easy. They show up when it's hard. They show up because they're disciplined. They show up because trust and reliability is the number one thing that consumers are looking for right now. This is going to be harsh, but I'm going to say it anyway, because I'm going to say it anyway, is do not let yourself become inconsistent. Don't make yourself apologize for going MIA for 2 weeks in your business and not getting back to your customers, or not posting on social media, or not following up with your people, or not booking, or not being as active. Don't put yourself in a position to ever have to apologize for that. Just show up. Just show up, because trust and reliability are so important right now more than ever. That's how you're going to win the game of getting people to spend their beauty bucks with you and to trust you. Is you have to show up. You have to show up. If this going MIA thing, you're going to lose credibility every single time. I think that is one thing I'm most proud of myself for, is that I don't go MIA, and every day is not easy, and every day is not fun. Every year's not easy, and every year's not fun. I show up every day, win, lose, or draw, because some people don't care, and that's what makes this business hard, is because you really want everybody to care. Some people don't care, but somebody out there cares. And I have to show up for them, because that person is, and it could just be one person, is counting on me. Well, I'm not going to let that one person down, and I'm not going to let myself down. The habit of showing up will change everything. So showing up 15 minutes, that 15 minutes of reach out every day, that could make or break you. But I promise it has a compounding effect. And that's what's going to help with that trust and reliability. For people looking to, I had somebody reach out to me yesterday about a product that has never reached out to me about a product. Never, ever, ever. She's never purchased from me. And the last time I talked to her, was 2012. That is what showing up every day will get you. They will get you, because people act like we were in the middle of a conversation about product because I posted something. Isn't that wild? I'm like, we have literally not talked on Messenger for 13 years. And she acted like we were in the middle of a conversation. Oh, it cracks me up. But it happens. When you show up consistently, she does feel like we're in the middle of a conversation, because she watches me. She watches my stuff. She sees my posts. She watches my videos. She thinks we're in a conversation. I never lost connection with her because I stayed consistent. It's pretty powerful. So let's recap real quick before we got to go. Key points in Atomic Habits: how to maximize your habits. Tiny habits equal big glow ups. Stop chasing goals, build systems. Identity is stronger than willpower every day. If it's hidden, it ain't happening. Make it fun or it won't get done. Easy beats effort every single time. Track it, check it, celebrate it. Your space equals your sales. Bad habits multiply like glitter. So do good habits. And then messy but consistent is better than perfect and rare. So those are your 10 things. And I want you to throw in 1 or 2, maybe 3 that really make a difference for you, that you can lean into today. Because I want you to like this. I want you to comment on this. I want you to subscribe to my channel. I want you to share me with your friends. But most importantly, I want you to honor me by changing some habits. I don't want you to listen to me every Wednesday and then do nothing different. I want you to listen to me every Wednesday so that you can do everything different. If your goal is to level up, you need to start leveling up. It's got to start today, and it can be a 1%, but you got to start, and you got to start today. So let me hear your habits that are the 2 or 3 things that you're going to change starting today. And then, of course, like, subscribe, comment, and share me, because that is important to Facebook cares about or YouTube cares about those things. So make YouTube happy. But most importantly, I want you to change what you need to change. So thanks for joining me. I will not be here with you next week. I will be in Amsterdam, right? Amsterdam next week. Oh, next Wednesday, I will be actually traveling from Amsterdam to Budapest. So that's what I'll be doing next Wednesday. So you will have to forgive me for not being here, but I'll be here the next week after. Can't wait to see what you guys do in the next 2 weeks. And I want to hear about it. So message me. Have a great one. Thanks for joining me, guys.